everybody. Oh, hello again, everybody, and welcome to Olivia's Money Show. See, I said it this time at the very beginning. I think now she is up to episode 8. Can you believe? Can you believe? Oh, she's just going like a little bunny. She is still, enjoying her summer. I said, don't you worry. I got you. Nana's got you. You just keep, take some time off, some more time off, right? and I said I will come talk to you. She was a little crude with the title. She was asking all of you if you suck. I mean, I understand her point. It's an excellent point she's making, but really what she's asking is, do you suck at taking care of yourself? If your Nana was taking care of you the way you're taking care of you, would she allow how you're being treated? This is what I'm going to talk about with you, for you, in front of you, and later at a recorded time as well to you, about really that kind of deep, satisfying nourishment. Okay? So I want to ask you, if you only had enough money, what would you do? Or what do you catch yourself saying? I wish I could. Oh, but I never could. Oh, I could never. It wouldn't be possible. I mean, this could be anything. It could be, I would encrust myself with diamonds everywhere. Okay, we can talk about that. Is that a need that you have that needs to be met? I'm not saying that there's no chance it is. This could be anything from, if only I could have a house cleaner, if only I had a private chef, if only I could have a car that worked. We could have, this could be a whole range of what comes up for you when you think about, oh, if only I had enough money, I would, I don't know, hire painters or something like that, or put your house up on stilts. I don't know what your deep needs are, but pick any of those that might have come up for you right here, and then sort of breathe into, how deeply we have blocks here. It's hard for me to even say it. How deeply satisfied would you feel if you had one of those, or the equivalent in your life? Not necessarily my examples, but something that you really, oh, if only, or oh, I could never, or something you've been putting off. What would give you that feeling of, oh, this is truly satisfying? Because I want to present to you another perspective of how we get our needs and our wants met through how you and Olivia are handling and making decisions about your money, right? So I don't know how many of you have heard of nonviolent communication. Oh, what a mensch. Marshall Rosenberg, he really developed this and was teaching it very widely. It's a beautiful thing. I encourage you to look him up, to look up the whole practice. And it is a practice of how to communicate. And one of the ways he looks at how people can actually show love, what is love? That's a big question. But one of the ways he frames it is in the direction of, well, love is wanting to help others meet their needs, right? Okay, and so you've been with a partner maybe who, doesn't want the same thing you want. Let's go micro. They don't like Italian food, but you love Italian food. They're willing to go to the Italian restaurant, okay? I mean, it's not all spaghetti and meatballs. All right, talk about Italian food later. And so the that idea of love being helping someone's needs be met works. It applies for you and yourself too. Of what are your needs that need to be met? Are you, well, as Olivia wrote, are you sucking at? But what are you leaving off of the table of how you can meet your real needs? I have some examples. Not that I was eavesdropping, but Olivia was working with a client earlier, you know who you are, who's been wanting Crocs for a while, right? I mean, Crocs, they're going to be outside a lot. They're very comfortable, and they've wanted them for over a year, but they feel like they can't give themselves that. And so Olivia was looking at they were looking at their numbers together and going, "Oh, I can completely give myself these Crocs." And this feeling of allowing yourself to have something. Now, this is also different from someone who is really engaging in impulse spending. It's the same continuum, okay? Does that make sense? Of how long have you wanted something, really? Where in your body do you feel where that need will be met? um, it's also this is not about a dollar amount of it doesn't have to do with people who have a lot of from the outside looks like a lot of money or who don't. I was hearing a story. A friend was talking. She teaches about horses and like riding things and stuff, and so she works with some relatively wealthy people as their hobby. This is horses, and one of her clients, her back, she needed a special saddle, I guess, to go with the bouncy, bouncy, and custom saddles. That's the thing. And so they went and they were getting measured for their saddles. And when it came time for her to be measured, she shut down. She said, "No, I can't do it. I'll buy you one." She was buying her husband one, but like a lot of us, she grew up with a lot of conflicting messages about money, and it really brought up for her. There were times in her life, even though she ended up inheriting a lot of money when she was young, it was still, her family was still in a struggle. And so she got these messages that it's not okay to spend money on yourself. It's not okay to get your needs met. Then often it happens generationally. My relatives, they had it so hard. Who am I to get a new pair of shoes? Who am I to put a new sole on my shoes? So it's not about how much money you have, how much money you perceive yourself to have. Sometimes it really is in some more of those subsistence um, areas of life. If your house is cold and you're feeling like, well, I could turn up the heat, I would be a lot more comfortable, but I don't want the expense, or I don't know, it's not really worth it. Uh, I'm gonna have to go chop down more wood, something like that. If your feet are cold, basically, not all the matzo ball soup in the world is gonna truly warm you up. You could buy a nice cashmere sweater, very nice. I said sweater. Sweater. But it's not going to keep your feet warm. Turning on the heat is something that is what your nana would do for you. She wouldn't say, "Your feet are cold, let me buy you this nice, new, expensive brand name sweater." No, she'd say, "Let's make sure you're warm, head to toe, in your core." And so I'm talking about that kind of need, that kind of satisfaction. If your feet are cold, the fanciest dinner in the world, your toesies are still going to be coldsies. So, what can you find in your life that really is going to color everything and make everything more satisfying and more nourishing? Now, so the action step for today's show would be start this list. Start a list of, and if you're not sure if this counts as a need or a want, put it on the list. No problem. That's what comes over time. Maybe today it's a nice matzo ball soup. I mean, we got rain here in Massachusetts. Maybe tomorrow it's a nap. To start to make a list of what it is that is going to deeply nourish you. And maybe you're not going to add to it tomorrow. Maybe you find it in a week. So put a date on it. Put a date on what you put on this list today. And then you're going to pick it up another time. You're going to find it in your purse or in your pocket, in the in the washing machine. Let's be realistic maybe. And when you add to it, put a date on that, because you know what Olivia does with her clients? She really bookmarks all of those desires and those needs as they come up. And then like this client today with the Crocs, then they can see, oh, this is something I've really been sitting with for a while. I can give this to myself. And they go through the numbers, and it's like this magical mathematical recipe, and they say, all right, let's figure out how we can get this need met. So that is today's action step, you know, we can mix around our numbers. You can always find money to put into retirement, but it's not going to be sustainable if you are feeling that deep deprivation in other places in your life. And it's probably not right away that all of this is going to shift, but as you evolve out of not trusting yourself, honestly, if your nana kept telling you she was going to build a fire and you would be warm and then you weren't warm, you would lose trust, right? You would start to lose faith. So it's very likely that over many years you may have let yourself go, not like blah, 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 blah. I mean, like, not give to yourself. It's very possible that that could be where you are. And so over time, you begin to develop this deep trust that when you have a true need that you have acknowledged, that you will take that leap and you will land in the net and figure out a way to meet that need and give that to yourself. So I just, I don't know if you have a nana around, go have some soup, take some nice breaths. If it's hot where you are, put a cool cloth on your forehead and really breathe into what is it that you can give yourself that is going to start to meet these needs of deep down what's inside. Because as they say at the Financial Recovery Institute always, you can never get enough of what you don't need. Okay, so if you're feeling all these other things without meeting that deep need, you're going to continue in cycles that aren't satisfying. And what I want for you is deliciously satisfying. You put a little seltzer in the matzo ball, then it's really satisfying. You get the bite, you get the float. This is what I want for you in all aspects of your life. So happy summer. I don't know how long Olivia's going to be on vacation, and so I'm sure I'll be back at some point. All right. Mwah. Take care of yourself. And I'm not saying that like a, off the light thing. Light? I mean, take care of yourself, please. All right. I love you. I do.